everybody, welcome back to A Mama and Her Cookies. I am Micah, the mama, and this is my cookie who is gonna be here any day now. Since we are so close to her due date, whether she comes then or not, I wanted to take some time and think back over my pregnancy and how much of a blessing it's been. This whole pregnancy has been a miracle. Go check out my other video about that. And I can't take credit for everything, but there have been some things that I contribute at least some of my success to. So today I'm gonna share with you 3 things that you can do to also have an amazing pregnancy. Number 1, and this is the absolute most important one, is mindset. I am absolutely convinced that the reason I didn't have any morning sickness throughout this entire pregnancy is because for 4 years, maybe longer, my husband told me that I would not get morning sickness. And so pretty soon I started to believe it too. I was like, oh, I'm just not gonna get morning sickness. And I didn't. Here's a funny story. When we were first dating, Devin told me,
my future wife is gonna work out while she's pregnant.
And I laughed at him a little bit, thinking,
you can't decide what your future wife does.
And also I was a little bit frustrated because I really wanted to marry him and I was not even working out and not pregnant at that point. After we got married, I actually did start working out. You know, marriage comes with sacrifice. I'm just kidding. I love working out now, and it's really how I started to define myself. Because what it all comes down to is that your mind controls your body. So if you define yourself as one thing, your body is going to follow through with that and make you become that. It's the same thing with pregnancy. If you define pregnancy as an amazing thing, that's what it's going to be for you. But if you take all of this mainstream, common, cultural beliefs about pregnancy being horrible and awful and full of terrible symptoms, that's what it's gonna be for you. In my mind, pregnancy was not just something that I could do, it's something I wanted to do. It's such a miracle and such a blessing, and having that mindset has really, really affected it. Practicing visualization is really helpful as well because you're able to think about what you want for yourself, and by thinking about it enough and having that in your mindset enough, it will become the truth for you. So I remember watching Becky at Good for the Swole as she did her workout videos. I would be following along in like my first trimester and she'd be like, yeah, I'm like a week away from delivering. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, how does she look so good? But I realized that that could be a possibility for me as well. And so I already had in my mind, that's what I'm gonna look like when I'm 39 weeks pregnant. And I'm gonna be 39 weeks pregnant and still working out like that. And here we are, like it didn't even take any conscious thought on my part because that's already what I had been feeding my brain this whole time. Another really great resource for an amazing mindset is Hypnobirthing with Anja. Any great positive prenatal education is gonna be amazing, but I am definitely biased to hypnobirthing because it teaches you not only what's going on in a positive manner, but it also gives you actionable strategies so that you can actually get through everything with a really good mindset. And her affirmations and relaxation audios are incredible. So check out the link down below for an amazing, amazing course that has totally set the tone of this entire pregnancy, and I'm sure will be a lifesaver during birth. During pregnancy, especially these days, you really have to balance out the positive and the negative because so much of what we hear about pregnancy is negative. Why do women want to share their horror stories about birth with other women who have never done it before? It's unfair. So I've taken a very active role during this pregnancy to control the stories that are coming in. And if the story just keeps coming or somebody just keeps on telling it or something, then I at least control my perception of it. A couple weeks ago, I was on a hike up a trail and I was in front of these couple ladies who were talking about all of their pregnancy stories. And for the most part, they were really negative. Unfortunately, I was going uphill literally as fast as I could, so I could not out hike them, and they weren't going quite fast enough to go around me. And so I had to sit there and listen to these negative stories, and I just kept on repeating to myself, my story does not have to be their story. My story does not have to go like that. That's not how my birth is going to go. So really controlling those perceptions can put you in a great mindset that will totally change the course of your pregnancy. Number 2 that I attribute so much of my just great feelingness in this pregnancy is exercise. I'd been active before pregnancy. I'd made it a habit. I defined myself as a person who exercised every day. And so the transition into pregnancy wasn't too hard. I cannot stress enough the impact of exercise during pregnancy. It gives me strength, gives me energy, it gives me stamina and endurance. It gives me confidence in myself and the ability to just push through hard things, helps support my mindset, and it helps my body in pregnancy pregnancy specific ways so that I can avoid some of the aches and pains that come along with pregnancy, which I think they come along with just not being active in pregnancy. If you support your body, I'm a huge proponent that your body will support you back. Another thing that I want to add in here that's really important is a chiropractor. I've been going for a couple of weeks, and that has really helped with some of the other like pregnancy aches and pains, the things that are common but not normal. They don't have to be part of your pregnancy. I've not experienced round ligament pain, symphysis pubic dysfunction, and I've had little to no lower back pain, and I contribute that all to exercise and chiropractics. And the third way to have a great pregnancy is to have a really good diet. Now, I'm not saying go on a diet, I'm just saying like the foods you eat. There are so many things in pregnancy that we complain about that could be completely avoided by just changing our dietary habits. Heartburn, morning sickness, hemorrhoids, fatigue, gestational diabetes, constipation, cravings, acne, anemia. A lot of these things can be mitigated or completely avoided by fueling your body properly. For example, a lot of people worry about vegans during pregnancy because they can be at higher risk for developing anemia since they're not eating meat. I actually had higher than necessary or higher than normal iron levels, and I think it's because I was so intentional about what I was eating. For the most part, okay? We're not all perfect. Chick-fil-A calls my name some days too. So those are the top 3 ways to have a great pregnancy. Even if you don't have a symptom-free pregnancy, these will definitely make you have a better pregnancy than if you weren't to do them, so you ought to do them. I'm so grateful I've been able to have not only a healthy pregnancy, but also actually an enjoyable one. Let me know if you have any other questions. Comment down below some of the things that really helped you during your pregnancy. And if you haven't yet, go check out my video on natural birth prep. Have a balanced day.